I'm glad you were uncertain because then you checked and made it, well, if not better, just clearer. There's an amazing thing that I didn't know existed. I'd heard of it. The cotton tree. I didn't know it existed until I was 30-something. I was out in the southwestern portion of Colorado, in a tremendously remote part of the state, far from Colorado Springs, far even from Pueblo, which is where I don't even remember what it was called, the Consumer Affairs Center, the Consumer Affairs Commission. They had public service announcements when I was a kid saying if you had trouble with a product or something, write to this thing in Pueblo, Colorado. All of this part of Colorado was fascinating to me because I had a friend who was working in Creede, Creede, a town so remote it didn't get radio signal. Bat Masterson used to be the mayor. It had a silver rush. It had mining. It was the Wild West. A woman named Poker Alice, who played poker with the men. So the way I would get there, because this friend was working in the summers, I would go into, see how much better I am at this than I used to be? I would go into Denver, and I would go up over the mountains that ring. The city of Denver is ringed by these mountains, down a highway called 285 that went across a mountain plateau, and then down in the valley between the Sangre de Cristo Mountains and the next thing west from there. The mountains were jaggy and beautiful. There were sunflowers growing in fields in the valley. And then it was still a little bit further. It was pretty far away. Or I could do the journey from Colorado Springs, which had Red Rock Amphitheater, which is like being on another planet. And then I could shoot down to Pueblo, which is largely tumbleweeds and sage. Oh, I'm doing it from my perspective. Down south, and then I would hook and head west. Either way, the last stretch of the ride is along a stream that comes from the mountaintop, and at a certain point along the ride, there are cottonwood trees. They put out a thing that looks just like cotton, and which causes a great deal of hay fever. So I had a push-pull about them, because I knew when I got to that point, wow, if the mountains didn't do it, if the plateaus didn't do it, if the sunflowers didn't do it, if the Denver airport, whole other topic unto itself, didn't do it, I definitely knew I was there when I would pass through the stands of cottonwood trees, big, branchy, bushy, and spewing, just spewing white detritus everywhere.